Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, so in this video, I'm just going to discuss one of my viewers' comments uh, I'm just making this video to clarify to this comment that Salup Setse Mock has posted on my video, and I believe it's my duty, and I think as an Angolan, Salup Setse Mock has every right to be mad at what I've been doing to his, like, honestly, it's not fair. I understand, but like, okay, let's first go through what Salup Setse Mock says, and then we'll discuss. I'll just try to give my point of view without any bias. Just trying to explain that I'm not biased. Let's see. So, like, this video I've just posted a few days back regarding Helio Santos, and as you guys know, I'm just like trying to figure out, like trying to prove basically that like Semba is not actually Kizomba, but which is not actually the case. You can say, like, and this is what Salup Setse Mock says. What is the confusion? Are you on quest to disprove the origins of the dance? That is what I've noticed in your videos so far. If people back then were simply dancing Semba on a Kizomba beat, it would still be called Semba, right? Duh. The Angolan Kizomba is an adaptation of the Angolan Semba due to the change pace of music and other factors. Adaptation is a must. Of course, every dancer has its own jinga. That is almost a prerequisite in every Bantu culture. You don't need to look or sound exactly like everybody else. That's the Western approach in things. If Cape Verdeans are claiming they were and are dancing pasada, so be it. No one has ever, and you won't see any other Polop country argue against it. In fact, I encourage. But when you say that Kizomba, which is Angolan, of course, itself doesn't come from Angola, that's when the delusion kicks in. If they claim they are dancing pasada instead, Batuku instead of Kuduro Afros, Funana instead of Semba, then you should at least be smart enough to point that out. The problem is there are a lot of Cape Verdeans outside of Cape Verde that don't know much about their own country and culture. Those are the ones causing this confusion. Couple of years ago, I came across a couple of French Cape Verdeans who were claiming that Kuduro was from Cape Verde. I mean, come on, know your stuff, guys. Big ups, everybody. Okay, so thanks for the comment, Salup Setse Mock, and I agree that you have every right to be mad at what my videos are essentially trying to convey, but I'll just. Okay, I'm still telling you, I understand that Angolans have every right to own Kizomba, but that is not what I'm trying to prove here. I'm not against Angola. I'm not against Angolans claiming Kizomba as their own. In fact, like, they have everybody right to do that. I mean, it's the non-Angolans who don't have any right to claim Kizomba, but that is not my point. My point is the context in which it is being used today. It is the context in which the word Kizomba is being used today. Now, if you have seen my previous videos. I'll maybe give you the link in the comment as well, but then I'll show you as well as to what I'm trying to say here. There is a video where Avelino Chantre explains how the Kizomba movement started, as in like who were all part of that movement, like how this whole thing began. Where is that video? If Kizomba, Okay, in search of Kizomba. Okay, so this is the video. And for some reason, all this movement
deste grupo começou-se a falar mais sobre a Kizomba, ou seja, quase que esse próprio grupo escolheu a palavra Kizomba para este movimento, digamos assim. Podia ser passado, podia ser outra coisa qualquer.
So this is what I'm trying to say. So there were these 7 guys who met in Portugal somewhere, and they decided to popularize Passada, but then chose the word Kizomba for that movement. I don't know why. But did they make a mistake? Of course, they probably made a mistake, because that is unfair to the Angolans as a whole, because now this has caused a whole lot of confusion. Okay, maybe I'll lay out the say, for example, this let's say this is like the timeline. This is a past, and this is a present. Okay, now let's say it starts, see, Angola and Cape Verde. See, Angolans were dancing Semba and Cape Verdeans were dancing Passada. Sometime in the past, say sometime in the past. And Semba parties used to be called Kizomba in Angola. I believe it's still called Kizomba in Angola. So, and these guys like come together in Portugal. I'm not giving any timeline, any specific year, because I don't know what year this happened. I believe in the early 90s, sometime around. So Angolans and Cape Verdeans, plus you have Mozambique, plus you have Guinea-Bissauans. So these guys like start to have parties in Lisbon, and I believe Angolans bring in their Semba, and Cape Verdeans, they bring in their Passada, and all of these they bring in their Passada, because I think Passada was predominantly being danced in all over Palo. I'm not sure if Angolans dance Passada as well, maybe Semba and Passada. Okay, so these guys meet up in Lisbon in parties and start dancing their own dance. I don't know what dances these guys were dancing. I just hope, because since Zouk was extremely popular in all these Palop countries, I would assume that these dancers would have danced to predominantly Zouk music, say Angolan Zouk, which is Kizomba, or Cabo Zouk, which is Gero Zouk or whatever, and any other form of Zouk Love, or Kola Zouk, or anything. These guys predominantly must have danced some kind of Passada, because Passada was predominantly danced to Zouk. I'm not sure what Angolans danced. They probably adapted Semba to Zouk music, or they also danced Passada. I'm not sure how prevalent Passada is in Angola. I'm just guessing. So here, this mix happens, and I think these later were being called Kizomba parties or something like that. Like, so till now, this Kizomba, the word Kizomba is being used only in the context of party. Okay, now this is around 90s, somewhere around 90s. Now late 90s, I think a group of 7 people, say Antonio Banderas, Quenda Lima, and Avelino Chantre, Pechu, Thomas Keita, Helio Santos, 2, 3, Zé Barbosa, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These guys, I don't know if there were more guys. But these guys come together and then decide to form a movement. And they decide to call it Kizomba. Okay. Now, these guys set out to popularize Kizomba in late 1990s. Around, as per Avelino Chantre, the meeting happens in 1998 or sometime around, and these guys start to spread the Kizomba movement. I believe they decided to spread Pasada, but they decide to call it Kizomba. Is that a mistake? I don't know. I'm not the one to decide. But based on what it is now, I think it could have been a mistake. But they see, not to mention that out of these 7 people, Antonio Bandera, one of my favorite dancers. I'm not against Angolans. Is the most underrated dancers. Is a genius when it comes to musicality. And Pechu. These 2 people are both Angolans. They are not like, it's not like only the Cape Verdeans were trying to take ownership of this. So I disagree with you when you say that like they are not ill-informed or anything like that. So this movement happens in the late 1990s, and within this movement there are 2 Angolans. So they I've discussed most of these dancers. We still have 2-3 more dancers to look at, but most of these dancers, they all dance Pasada with a little bit of tango fusion or maybe some, but predominantly Pasada. Even the Angolan dancer Antonio Bandera, I'm yet to look at Pechu, but Pechu, I think he's the one who popularized Tarashinho, if I'm not wrong. So and Pechu was into Semba mostly. That much I'm aware, but he still called it Semba. He didn't call Semba Kizomba. So the movement started to become popular post this, like in the 2000s, mid to late 2000s. This movement becomes popular. And it becomes almost viral, like because of dancers like Wenda Lima and one of his students Albir. These 2 guys, I believe, like that's my opinion, I could be wrong, were predominantly responsible for making the Kizomba movement so popular. I mean, so popular all over the world. Now it is danced all over the world, and these guys deserve the credit for it. Now, so we are in late 2000s, late 2000s, early 2020s, I would say. So now people start creating their own style of Kizomba. We call urban kiss fusion, and since the word Kizomba is now world popular, but although in a different context, because these guys, when they popularized, these guys used the term Kizomba, and essentially what they taught was Pasada. So people started assuming that Pasada was Kizomba, and that's how it became popular. So my point is, initially when Kizomba became popular, it was not Semba, which is the case now, but it wasn't the case earlier. So this Kizomba thing gets popular all across the world, and then the Angolans are really happy about it, rightfully so, because they think Kizomba, something that they are really proud of, is so popular, not knowing that the outside world is not actually dancing Semba, but they are dancing a different dance called Pasada, but they are referring it as Kizomba. And the Angolans, they jump on the bus, and then they start teaching what they know as Kizomba, which is Semba. Now, all over the world, mostly except for Portugal or somewhere, a few countries, Semba is being taught as Kizomba, which is not wrong because Kizomba is an Angolan word, and Angolans have every right to own it and every right to claim Semba as Kizomba, because that's how it has been used in Angola all these years. All I'm trying to like understand and prove through this quest is, when Kizomba was initially made popular, it was not in the same. It was not Semba. It was Pasada. And since I fell in love with that Pasada, and I don't get to learn that Pasada in Sydney now. I'm just trying to, I don't know, reach out to people who can teach me like the Pasada. That's all I'm trying to do, and I'm not saying Angolans, and I'm not against Angolans. I'm not against Semba. Semba is like some of my I have many favorite dancers from Angola, like Mario Jordao, David Pacavira, Jay Dixon, which actually one of my viewers only mentioned all these names, and I checked out the videos. They're really beautiful dancers. Antonio Bandera is like one of the best Pasada dancers, in my opinion, and he's from Angola too. And so that's all I'm trying to do. I'm nothing else. And as for the Jinga comment that you have mentioned, see, everyone has Jinga in the Bantu community. I completely understand, but if you watch some of my videos, I've discussed this as well. Semba is danced in a totally different mood. Semba is a playful dance. So when you bring a certain mood to the music, to the dance, you bring certain moves that are authentic to that mood, right? Like, say if I'm in a really angry mood, I would like to punch someone, which is like the outcome of the mood. But if I'm in a different mood, if I'm in a happy mood, I won't punch anyone. I would do something else. So that is what I'm trying to say. So when you're in a Semba mood, when you're bringing Semba mood to the music, you bring that playfulness, you bring that, letting go and catching your lady and then lifting her legs and hooking and fishing. These are all part and parcel of the mood of the music. So even though you try and adapt the same mood to a different to a slow song, which altogether brings out a totally different mood, you're not going to fit this moves, which was the result of a totally different mood, into a slow song where the mood is totally different. What I'm trying to say is, you can dance like hooks and tricks for Semba because it is a playful song. But if you dance that to Kizomba, even though you try and adapt it and dance the same thing, it doesn't look good. It doesn't fit in, is what I'm trying to say. So that is why Pasada is very, very minimalistic. Pasada, because the music is slow and is sensual, and there is a, you know what I mean, right? Like you're from Angola, you're probably a really good dancer. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Now, as for the we'll come back to why these dancers use the word Kizomba instead of Pasada. I don't know. All I can think of is probably, since they were all from different countries, different African countries, they probably thought instead of using the word pasara, they would rather use the word Kizomba, and which is an African word, to make this movement popular, because it is an African movement. Now you can be mad at them, but I'm really glad that they did that, because if not for these guys, Kizomba wouldn't be as popular as it is now, which is celebrated all across the world, which is bringing more and more outsiders towards African culture, and wanting to learn about African culture, wanting to learn about this beautiful dance. I'm not talking just about Pasada, both Semba. You have lots and lots of dance festivals going on where there's lots of Semba teachers coming in, and which is a beautiful thing. You can be mad at them, but what they have done is nothing but good, is what I'm trying to say. So, like, this is what I'm trying to do, Mr. Salop, Setse Mok, and nothing else. I'm not against Angola. In fact, like, two of the dancers of this movement are from Angola, so Pasada is equally Angolan as well. So I don't know what you're mad at here. If you're still not convinced, I'm sorry, but like, I'm just trying to do what I don't know. I'm just trying to put this info out there, so that, like, at least people know how things started, and maybe sometime in the future realize that Kizomba was actually used in a different context when it started. That's all I'm trying to do. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching this. Bye bye, JDP.